Hello, my name is Erica, and I would like to share with you a story, my story on a topic that is near and dear to my heart. The topic is on bullying. So, in Canada, we have what's called our school system is done in three ways. So we have our elementary school, which is kindergarten to grade 6. We have middle school, which is grades 7 and 8, and high school, which is 9 to 13. So, in my elementary school years, I've always been quiet. I was put in a special class for my English and math. I didn't have too many friends, and I was really quiet. So, that was kind of the start of me being quiet and not too having too many friends. So, moving to middle school, I did make some friends, but that's also where my bullying began. So my bullying began when I started to show signs that I had. I had a unibrow, I had hair, I was overweight, so people made fun of me because I was fat, I was ugly. Anything you could possibly think of was something that I was called. So it definitely hurt me, and I was often crying to my mom and saying that I don't want to go to school. I don't want to be there. And she would always tell me, but you need to go to school, Erica, and it's important for you to go. So she taught me these two things. She said that um, sticks and stones will break your bones, but names will never hurt you. And that if you have nothing nice to say, don't say anything at all. So she did tell me those things, teach me those things, and I did use them a couple of times, but didn't really seem to do anything. I did have some friends there who I did have a small circle of friends who were there for me, but they weren't sometimes really understanding about it too much, so it was hard for me to handle. Even then, I was still placed in a separate class for my English and my math due to having a learning disability. So that was definitely something I also got teased for. So on top of that, I was then diagnosed with PCOS, polycystic ovarian syndrome, which means that the female body has extra male testosterone, so extra hair growth, overweight, fatigue, and a bunch of other symptoms that I can go on and list. So this was really difficult for me, and I was really not understanding what it was, and being in middle school, like, it was hard. My mom definitely tried to help me by trying to go to the school and talk to the school about it, but they didn't really do too much. They were just kind of like okay and just trying to speak to the teachers, but they didn't really do too much. So when I finished middle school and moved on to high school, I was put in a school for people who had learning disabilities. So I was basically thrown into a high school where we had not just academic classes but functional classes. So I was I had a couple of friends there, and I was very, very I was unsure about who actually was my friend based off my experience of being bullied. So it took me a while to really kind of build that trust. So while I was in high school, I also had braces. Um, I had, I was learning to be in a different school environment. And with my PCOS, I had extra hair growth all over my body, and it became embarrassing for me. During gym class, I refused to change in the change room with everyone else. If I couldn't change in a bathroom or a closed room, I was not participating in gym, and that's just how it was. I pretty much always wasn't able to do that, so I didn't have to miss out on gym class too much. A lot of people, just like me, in the same with the same similar learning disabilities, we just all felt like, why are we here? And so I didn't feel like that I was that alone because I had a learning disability. But towards the end of towards the end of high school, when I was in 15, my mom was diagnosed with a brain tumor, and so I was struggling dealing with that, and helping her. And just before I graduated, I was 16. My mom passed away, and even before then, the school had told my parents that even if I graduate from this high school, I would never go to college or university. I would never get a real job, and I would always work in customer service. So I then felt confused. I was lost. I didn't know where to go. Like, I participated in school. I did everything that I was supposed to do, and I graduated, and everyone was happy for me. But I was very, very confused as to what do I do now. I mean, I've already been labeled that I couldn't do a regular job, or I couldn't go to school, and I knew that was something that my parents had wanted for me, to go to school, and it was something that I wanted to do. I want to continue my learning because I love to learn. I think that it's so important. So I did end up going to school. I actually I did go to Algonquin College, and I did a couple classes. I at the time wanted to do public relations, and they would not accept me because of my math. So I then decided to try to find a school that would believe in me, would believe that math is not the primary aspect that I need to do in order to take public relations. So I took it upon myself to locate a school that would help me. So I decided to apply for Humber College in Toronto. And so I did. I just told my dad, like, look, I'm going to apply for a school that will believe in me as much as I believe in myself. So I took the gamble, and I did it, and a couple of interviews later, and I was accepted to the school. And so fast forward to today, in 2010, I did graduate from the program with my diploma, so that's something I'm extremely proud of. After that, I did take the event management program at Algonquin College, so I do have a couple of certificates under my belt, and I am working in customer service at this present moment, but I enjoy helping others, as well as I am an entrepreneur. I've always been an entrepreneur, and I currently run my own event planning business called Fairly Girl Events. So I'm going to leave all this information down below for I do have a blog as well. So I'm going to leave my blog down below, but some things I want to end this video with is that bullying is never okay. It's never okay to be teased for the way that you look, for the way that you are, for having a learning disability, for being labeled. It's not okay to feel like you cannot do things that others can't. We might be able to do it differently, but we can do them. I was also told that I would never public speak because of my learning disabilities. I was told that I would never get too far in my life because of all of the things that has happened to me. But I'm here to tell you that you can definitely make it happen for you. You do it in your own way. You do it in the way that works best for you. You just need to believe in yourself. It's taken me a very, very long time for me to be able to speak up for myself, and using my voice to share my story is extremely powerful. It's extremely meaningful, and I hope that my story inspires someone else. So I'm going to leave my blog link below, as long as my business link below, and I hope that you will join me on my next video. So for now, have a good evening, and I will speak to you soon. Bye.